And clap to the massive guys, you're definitely back again for another reaction on this Mystelics reaction channel, guys. Round of applause goes out to each and every one of you guys, the real MVPs out there, the Mystelics family. Big up yourself one time, man. You don't know for tuning into yet another reaction video right there and then, guys. If you want to become a part of the Mystelics family, definitely subscribe and click the bell so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through right there, guys. I'm gonna be reacting to what the health acting prime minister and minister of health, wellness and new health investment, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, what he had to say on the updates of Dominica. He stated this out yesterday. They had a long kind of waiting for people when they could just start the thing. I don't understand why they have people waiting like that. All you know, you can edit out in YouTube, right? Or you can edit out that part so you can just go straight to it. People, come on, you can edit on YouTube. Anyways, they want to start.
Hello, Dominicans. From March 2020, Dominica has been dealing.
Okay, that is too much talking. Too much talking.
Progressing of has significantly
the updates we want to hear.
Since the surge of the situation, have returned to face-to-face learning trend using a blended approach.
By the way, I just want to give a congratulations, kudos to all the frontline individuals who tried their best. I know not everybody was, you know, in the same boat, since we heard that a number of individuals were there was a lot of the consideration of neglect taking place in some of these places with different doctors. Not all of them, some of them were definitely doing this, and as a result, we heard that a number of persons passed away. Because that was based off the accounts of individuals who actually saw. I mean, I wouldn't say they didn't see the full picture. They maybe didn't get the full story of what exactly was happening. But I know that individuals were complaining in this regard right there about certain situations that's taking place in the quarantine centers and, you know, the hospitals. It's like when you go there, it's like thing. That's why a number of persons are worried. Even one of my friends is coming down to take care of her family because she's like, she's asking questions. She's a nurse and stuff. She's asking questions and the individuals don't even know the answers to it, or they say they can't give the information even though she's the primary caretaker of the individual. So she has to come down as a result to take care of the family member, to ensure that the family member survives. So it's not me that's saying things, brothers and sisters. This is the facts of reality right there. People in quarantine have been complaining about people neglecting individuals. People complaining, say, oh, I need some water, I need thing. And patients themselves have to be taking other patients to help them to go in the bathroom and to try to help the individuals. I mean, come on. So there was a neglect on some of the individuals, not all of them right there. Hopefully they checked that. But I don't know if they checked it. Sometimes these individuals don't care at all. So kudos to the actual individuals who were, you know, really putting their best foot forward. Because I know some of them, they did put their best foot forward, but not all of them, you know. So we have to be mindful of that right there.
And our and healthcare system. It is within this context that Cabinet has approved a revision of protocols and relaxation of restrictions to allow businesses and activities to return to insurgence of COVID-19. Mental health services regulations to take effect from April 4th, 2022.
So in about 5 days.
Restrictions on religious gatherings have been removed. Churches.
Okay, so people can go to church now. I know some of you say, let me go online. Well, you don't watch all you online, you know, but all you church
are no longer restricted to a maximum attendance of 150 and may operate at full capacity.
No, on my understanding of them saying the limiting to, I think there was 10 or 20 people first and then they bring it to 150. But let's say somebody in the church has it, guys. One person gets it. And that person among the 10 individuals, mingle among the 10 individuals, which of course, based off scientific backing, we know that masks, that is scientifically proven, it doesn't work. The best set of masks is the N95 and I think the K95 as well, which they state is on your face, supposed to be on your face. Then you have to replace it every 30 to 45 minutes. Some people still have the same mask that they start the Rona situation with. Today, I tell you, I say partner, they kind of a surgical mask on it. And that brown burst is supposed to be green, that brown. But some people have been reusing masks. Myself, I don't just go and buy masks like crazy. No, sir. I have a mask, I put that there, bar, go in this to come out, bar, I have that there, go back, same thing. So, anyways, let's continue right there. But the whole situation involving one person and then 10 people get it. Them 10 people can then go to their family members and give them, and it's spread around the community. If that is the case, same thing with schools. One person can have it and thing. It's not like children just keep the mask on. I know, you know. I know. I pass the number on the schools to see all the children working. Some of them have the mask on their face there, some of them on their neck. So I know we have mask as if mask is a part of our body. Anyways, let's continue right here.
Public transportation is allowed to operate at full capacity.
I self thought public transportation was operating at full capacity, yeah. Because I've been on the bus. I decided, I think it was about a month or 2 months ago, I decided to go on the bus to see how it is to go Roseau and come back. And go Roseau, bus jump pack, come back, possible depart jump pack too. Every one of my friends, when she was going back up Roseau, and we had to stop a bus and stuff, and the bus didn't have space, but they make space. So when they talking about this kind of things, they about, you know, operating, I don't think people was listening to all you said. Then people checking out to make money about that. So bus was operating at full capacity, yeah, but thanks for allowing it to be legal. So, well, it was always legal, but I guess adhering to recommendations, man.
Restrictions on educational instruction has been removed. Daycares and preschools will be allowed to reopen in keeping with public health protocols developed for these establishments with effect from April 4th. Primary and secondary schools will return to full face-to-face learning for the third term on April 25th.
Okay.
All other educational institutions will resume normal operations in keeping with their academic schedules.
So everybody going back to school, man. Everybody going back to school, everybody going to Vive.
All bars are allowed to resume normal operations.
Okay.
Restrictions on music and congregating have been removed.
I don't understand how what the music have to do with the Rona, eh? Maybe they think the music will entice people to come and join in, but certain places have been playing music all the time. So if that came out yesterday, brothers and sisters, and they saying music was restricted, that nobody was following them thing. Nobody was following them thing there. Yeah, boy. Even when he was at the funeral, I saw him at a funeral. He was always wearing his mask. Well, one time I saw him put on his mask and thing, but he had his mask on his face for general most of the time. And he was walking around and people didn't have a mask on and this kind of things. I mean, what can you do? It's not like what you can tell. Put on, you can arrest you and think, but people wasn't really following this kind of things. People taking his joke all you making. But anyways.
Nightclubs are allowed to reopen for under 300 patrons with strict adherence to health protocols.
So what was the difference with the 100 and the 300? I guess again, since it's going down, it has nothing to do with you guys. It's not like you guys would be doing anything magical in the country to make things go down. No, in fact, when you guys brought injections, that's when things start going up. Because previously, before all you had the lockdowns and everything had to come in and quarantine, everybody had to come in, both the vax and the unvax had to quarantine and this kind of things. The cases were low. I think that was very good of you guys to do if you were trying to do these things. But then you allow people to come in and things are skyrocket. People start passing away and all those kind of things there. I mean, come on. But anyways, let's continue.
Restrictions on social activity, such as private parties and sporting activities, with fewer than 300 in attendance, have been removed. For special events of above 300 patrons, a special event permit is required. Proof of vaccination or negative antigen test result within 24 hours of entry is required, and other health.
So you can get the injection, which I don't recommend individual zone at all, because there's a lot of things that might happen in the future people don't know about, since there is no scientific backing behind this thing. You do not know. So if you want to go and take your antigen test and this kind of things there, I guess this is also allowed in this regard right there. So when you go in events and stuff, you can take your antigen test and so forth and so forth.
Protocols will be applied. Sporting events with about 300 patrons will be hosted under the revised special event protocols. Nightclubs hosting events for over 300 patrons must also comply with the special events protocols.
So I guess you need some permit. But special events, I guess you have to wear sanitize and so forth and so forth. Get your test and so forth. I guess that's it. Well.
Physical distancing of 6 feet is no longer mandatory at businesses and establishments.
It was never working in the first place. I mean, yes, if somebody cough and they have the virus, yes, it might think. Some might go in the air. But it's not like when you go in the air, it can disappear. It's not like you just can stay there. I see people moving, beat, poop, poop, poop. But you come into the same airspace that the person breathe in, they breathe out the top. Anyways, let me leave that. Let's continue.
Restrictions on visitation to the prison, hospitals, and home for the elderly have been removed.
Okay.
The public should note that these institutions will formulate internal policies
of their own
for visitation in keeping with health protocols, and these policies should be strictly adhered to. The mask mandate remains in effect and will be reviewed in May.
Like I stated before, it doesn't make sense. The mask thing doesn't make sense. People have surgical thing. Even Fauci himself say you must double your mask. But it's rather interesting that all the other countries, UK has removed every single one of them. They just removed that. Grenada have April 4th, they're gonna, I think that's what they follow in, but they still have their own little recommendations and thing on their own little restrictions. Grenada on the 4th decided they're going to take out everything. Nothing, no restrictions, nothing like that. They're going to remove everything. But Dominica decided they still want to have thing. I guess they just want to be a bit different from the other countries. But that's the whole point. But they say they can remove it, they can review it in May. Obviously, they're going to take out everything in May, which is kind of silly. Or just remove everything now. You I guess we're only preparing for summer, so let's continue.
The removal of the mask mandate will depend on an increase in vaccination numbers and further reduction in COVID-19 cases. So we are all urged.
Guys, I think one of my batteries has a problem, man. It has a problem. It doesn't show any indication that it's dying. It just goes off, man. So anyways, I think I went a little ahead. Let's go back and then.
So we are all urged to continue following the protocols. All businesses, establishments, churches, schools, and forms of public transportation are required to conform to the safety protocols, such as sanitizing and the wearing of masks. In addition to the relaxation of restrictions imposed under the Environmental Health Services regulations, changes have been made to travel protocols to further ease travel to Dominica and support the full reopening of the tourism sector.
Well, I mean, not like we're getting international airport again, so might as well open up things, boy.
For the cruise sector, all vaccinated passengers will be allowed to disembark and tour freely in keeping with the established cruise ship and port protocols.
So it's only the vax individuals that can do that? That is what you're saying? I'll point out something in a while.
Cruise sector workers such as taxi drivers, vendors, tour guides must be vaccinated or present a negative 48-hour antigen test result and safe in nature pass.
So I guess they say pretty much you can get your negative. Once you get your negative stuff, then you can continue. There's a number of things I want to say in this regard.
The requirement for pre-arrival testing and testing on arrival for vaccinated travelers at all ports of entry, to include seafarers and yachties, has been removed.
Okay, they point out something there. Let's go to Fauci, guys. Let's go to Fauci and see what Fauci have to say about that situation. Fauci, what you have to tell the people now?
Seeing that
they're talking about vaxxed individuals. Okay, guys, let's continue.
The ability of individuals who are infected through breakthrough infections, namely people who ultimately get infected, that they are generally without symptoms or minimally symptomatic. However, it is clear that they are capable of transmitting the infection
with what?
To uninfected individuals.
With what?
Of transmitting the infection.
They are capable of what?
However, it is clear
that they are what?
That they are capable of transmitting the infection to uninfected individuals.
Oh, okay.
And the data that they reported indicates that if you look at the level of virus in the nasopharynx of a person who's vaccinated and has a breakthrough infection and compare that to the level of virus in the nasopharynx
of an unvaxxed,
of an
what are they?
Is infected.
Who is infected?
They're essentially equivalent.
They're equivalent. Not my words. They are the same. Yet still they're telling us here that the vax individuals can come without testing and this kind of things. Guys, don't get me wrong, I feel like nobody should be doing no more testing. Doesn't make no sense at all. Trump actually stated the very thing, and people were right. My YouTube company. And he was right in this regard. The more that people test, because there's a lot of false positives. There's a lot of these things. But they're saying this thing right there, which doesn't make any sense. You're making the vax come in without testing, so and this kind of things there. You remove all restrictions on them. But just a while ago, we heard that Fauci was saying that the vax individuals can get it and they have equal the amount of same load. They have the same load as the unvaxxed individuals. The vax and the unvaxxed have the same viral load in the nasal pharynx. So if they sneeze, all these kind of things, that things can spread all over the place. But they say no, it's one set. That don't make any sense. But let's continue right there, guys.
Pre-arrival testing and testing on arrival will remain in place for unvaccinated travelers at the traveler's cost.
Doesn't make sense. Because both of them, the vax and the unvax, can not just get it, but spread it as well. The only basis of they saying the vax individuals is that personally, the Rona will not affect them to the magnitude that it would affect an unvaxxed individual. That's what they're stating. So it's not like they cannot get it and spread it. So if you want to remove tests, you have to remove tests all across the board. You want to have it for one some, and then the same set of people you making come through are the ones who spreading it. I've heard that happening in one of the business places in thing where they're telling individuals to get the injection. The individuals getting the injection, the people are not injected, getting the Rona from the people that get injected. Boy. That's why I say we have to look within ourselves to find out what works and doesn't work. We can't just be pointing out and see what other countries do and decide to do it ourselves and still have restrictions. That don't make sense. That's why it doesn't work, Mr. Them. Minister of Health and this kind of people, they don't know nothing about ministry. What you do? You might be a doctor. Even the very doctors, I remember talk to some doctors. We talking about the very one of the things I was curing people from the Rona. And they say, no, sir, that's not true. When there's ample evidence out there that proves that fact. So, guys, not just because they're doctors doesn't mean they actually do the work, eh? Look, people like me, we go to the root. So, when it comes down to information like this, I go to the root of individuals who actually doing the research on these things. Not what doctors saying and all those people. What they say, no, don't worry, they can say what they want. But when it comes down to the individuals who are doing the research, and when a plethora of them have come to the same conclusion, that is who I listen to. I don't listen to people because they are doctors. One of my friends say, well, she married now. She say how she listened to her husband. Right now, she regretting she take it. Because she take it and about 4 or 5 months later, she get the same thing and it hit her hard. It hit her hard. But she get it because she can listen to her doctor, her fiancé at that time. But hey, c'est la vie.
Unvaccinated travelers who test negative on arrival will no longer be required to quarantine.
That's good.
Testing on arrival for symptomatic travelers will remain in effect.
That makes sense. That part makes sense. If you're symptomatic, then obviously quarantine. You know what I mean? But it should be not just for the vax. It should be for the. It should not just be for the uninjected. It should be for the injected too. You get my feeling.
Travelers who test positive will be isolated in keeping with the local isolation protocol.
But that is just for the uninjected. What about the injected that have symptoms? Because you're not going to test them, you know. You're not going to test them and this kind of things there. Well, hopefully you say travelers, so hopefully that's for everybody. But since you're not going to be testing the injected and only going to be testing the uninjected and then look to see if they have symptoms and this kind of things, I think that's not very smart at all. Because both of them can get it and spread it.
Children 12 years and under will assume the status of parents or guardians. Travelers will no longer be required to fill and submit the pre-travel form online.
Well, that's good.
While we are pleased to announce these changes and look forward to the positive impact on the economy and our livelihoods, I wish to urge the public to remain cautious.
Anyways, that's it. So that is what they telling us right there, the updates in Dominica. So I know a number of people want to come to Dominica. Well, that's how you have to do it. If you unvax, you can still come in. Well, I shouldn't be saying if you injected or uninjected, you can come to Dominica freely. It's just that if you the uninjected, if you test positive, they will quarantine you, which is kind of sad. If the injected are actually symptomatic, they can then come into the country and spread it right there. So I don't think that part is thing. But it's la vie. I guess the Ministry of Education, what is that? Ministry of Health. Guys, what are your thoughts, man? Is it just me that's thinking these things, or what are your thoughts on this, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. This is pretty much all about for this here reaction video. I was gonna do another one, but I'll do that tomorrow. Hopefully nothing else comes up. So there's a number of things that has to be said, and of course people outside Dominica doing great things right there. Anyways, guys, we'll keep it locked. Definitely subscribe and turn on post notification. Give this video a thumbs up for things opening in Dominica. That's good. In May, obviously, I think they're gonna remove everything. So of course, World Korean Music Festival might happen, and so forth and so forth. So with that said, guys, like I said before, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, and I will see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom, bam.